flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any additions or modifications to the agenda? If not, do I hear a motion to approve the agenda? Is there a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. The next order of business is to approve minutes of the last 3 meetings. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
Does anybody have any suggestions on any of the minutes?
I just had a question. I wasn't present at one of the 3 meetings.
Correct.
I'm happy to, do my part on here, but I only can kind of verify the 2 that I was present at.
Understand that, but you can actually vote on approval even though you were not there if you've reviewed them.
I have reviewed them, so understood. Thank you.
So that's
Do you
any.
have to do them each month? Do we have to do that, or can we do all 3?
Oh, John, do you have something? You have to unmute yourself.
We cannot hear you, John.
We can't hear you, John.
You're muted, John.
No, still can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Can somebody running the Zoom unmute him?
He has to do it.
Oh.
You can't have him start some video or anything. If you mute,
Oh, did we just lose him?
Tap to speak.
There you
Okay, there you are.
there you are.
There you go.
Do you have
All
a
right,
comment?
I have to change screens. It says tap to speak. I was questioning, in the minutes, it said that we're informed that all projects are on hold. Is that correct?
Which minutes are you looking at?
June, the May 8th minutes.
And where are you looking at that?
Well, I'll have to find it now.
John, I think you might be referring to the public comments, the summary of Ms. Kirkland's comments, where she requested that all projects be paused, but that wasn't an action taken by, or I don't know if that could be an action even, but that was a summary of the public comments.
You should just keep on muted from now.
Tap your screen again, John.
See if I can get it back.
Are the
We can't-
projects on hold?
No, they're not.
Yes, we can hear you. That comment in the minutes refers to someone who gave public comments and made that comment. All we did was listen to what she said. We didn't take any action on that.
Oh, well, good. Thank you.
That reflects what she said, not what the committee did.
Right. All right, I'm done speaking. I'll quiet.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments on any of the minutes? I think we can approve all of them at once.
Okay, I move to approve the June 15th, 2022 minutes, the February 17th, 2023 minutes, and the May 8th, 2023 minutes.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Are there any monthly communications or public comments? And do we have somebody that wishes to make a public comment today? I hear none.
We did not receive, just to be noted, we did not receive any via email.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the main reason we're here tonight, which is to discuss the annual COC report. I think, did everyone get a copy of the draft?
Yes.
Yeah, before we get started, I have a couple of suggested changes. I apologize for not getting them out sooner. I was a little under the weather this week. In section 1, just before the committee finds and notes, we talked about measure J, but we didn't talk about measure K, and I think that has to be put in there.
Correct. We refer to J and K above that, so we will put in building fund, parentheses, measure J and K.
Good. I think that takes that. There's just a typo. At the note in the bottom of that paragraph, there's a space that doesn't need to be there. I think in the paragraph A, I'm suggesting that we put some language that because measure J is only for 35 million and we're talking about 42.5 million, I think we got to make it clear that that's both bond funds. Do you have some suggested language for that?
So after, where it says approximately 42.5 million has been paid or encumbered, we could add in from both bonds on improvements to OUSD. So
Great,
Perfect.
perfect. On paragraph C, I'm suggesting that we expand the COC to be consistent with other language in the report to make that the Citizens Oversight Committee spelling it out. And I was, this is a matter we need to discuss, I think. I was going to suggest adding on the beginning of the last sentence, because we really can't ensure that what's going to happen. I was going to suggest the committee has been informed that the interest that these bond funds would have accrued will be calculated, as opposed to saying it will be. I just don't think we can attest that it has been done. But I understand we have more information about that.
we do, we have an exact dollar amount. And we've been instructed that it will be journal entry back into the bond this week. So it's a little under $14,000. It's $13,782.80. Originally, we crafted this report to include that dollar amount. And then we took it out because they were still going through it.
That was a good question we came up with, huh?
Very good.
Exactly. So it was actually great because Alan and I were sitting in the office the next day going, I didn't even think about a little bit of interest we have, but
It's a lot of interest, yeah.
the money's money.
Money's money.
So,
Well, I think we ought to craft a sentence to replace that last sentence that indicates the
Right.
amount of the interest and that we've been told it's going to be paid tomorrow or
Right.
the date.
my only concern about adding a dollar, an exact dollar amount is if it's off by a couple cents, then we have a dollar amount in it that is not consistent, just
Well,
in case.
I think if we craft it saying that we have been informed,
Okay,
the
so,
committee has been informed that the
Approximately.
approximate amount of interest is,
so we could say interest, totaling approximately $13,782.80 would have been accrued by the bond, would have been accrued and will be repaid.
we
or-
paid. And
Have we been told it will be repaid?
yeah, I think again, I think we ought to be saying,
Question, John? When is this? They borrowed it for the operating fund to get through June, but when is it going to be paid back?
The funds that were borrowed have already been paid back. The only thing that has not been paid back is the interest that the bonds would have accrued in the bond accounts.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
the funds were repaid in August of 2022.
Yeah,
So almost
but
a
I
year.
read in the paper that they had borrowed 600,000. I read this in the paper. They borrowed 600,000 to get through the year, and I thought, when is that going to be paid back?
It was paid back.
It's been paid back, and that's reflected in the paragraph in our report.
Oh, all right.
So Adam,
Yes.
that $13,000 number, is that the preliminary number that Ryan came up with? Because there was still some discussion between Chairman and Joe about the numbers they got from BCD about.
Yeah, as of literally 10 minutes ago, that is still a solid number. So that's why I'm a little cautious about putting it down to the penny. But it would
That's
say approximately $13,780 or $82 or 13,000.
Correct,
Just like
because
However,
the
whatever
interest,
number we are.
the interest will increase until the date it's paid.
Yeah.
So I would say approximately that number.
Or
And-
as of today's date, the interest in the amount of,
You could.
So how about,
Actually, you're talking about the interest on the interest, the fact that it hasn't been repaid
course,
since that
that's
time, that value
Still-
also accrues. interest.
Still do. Correct.
Compound.
Correct.
so interest totaling approximately $13,000 accrued.
Today.
Accrued to date will be repaid, or
Will be repaid. You think they're gonna be repaid tomorrow?
it sounds like they're gonna do a journal entry tomorrow, but
Shall we
I like
say
the word promptly.
Promptly.
promptly
Yeah.
or
There
prior
you
to June 1st? That gives you a little bit of time. And the board, because we want it to be finalized before the board approves the report.
right,
And that will be about the 6th or 7th, probably June 7th.
yeah, the board, so it'll be on the June 8th agenda.
Okay.
So how about total interest totaling approximately $13,782 that these bonds would have accrued to date will be repaid prior to June 1st, 2023.
We want to start that off with the board has been informed that.
The COC.
Committee has-
The CO, the
The
committee, I'm
committee
sorry.
has been
The committee
informed.
has been informed.
That's just the last sentence of that whole paragraph.
Right, so
So
but it
you
would
read the
start
whole
with,
sentence back?
yeah, read the sentence back.
The sentence right now is interest totaling approximately,
The committee has been informed
Yeah.
that.
perfect.
If that's, I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
No,
suggesting.
no,
that.
no.
I like that, yeah.
It's a great addition.
So the committee that has been informed,
Yes.
that interest totaling, that interest totaling approximately 13,782, that these bonds would have accrued to date will be repaid prior to June 1st, 2023.
I like that.
I like it. Okay.
I like that you guys like it.
I had one more clarification on this area. I had notes from Dr. Knox's report that the funds had been repaid on August 8th of 2022. This indicates August 22nd.
Correct. It's August 22nd.
It is August 22nd. Okay.
Those are all the things I noted. Does anybody else have any things that they want to change on the report?
yeah, we talked about in D, since we're going down, that we wanted to specify, or I noted that I wanted to specify that the bond managers are paid with bond funds.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't want anybody thinking that getting rid of a bond manager would keep a teacher.
How about something like it is noted at the lot, oh, you want something?
Sorry, yeah, we have one suggestion. After we sent this out, we reviewed it multiple times, of course. But the last sentence that says, starting with the words, with this increase in construction costs, or with the increase, one of our suggestions was, with the increase in construction costs, or the quantity of projects being completed, over 150 projects completed to date, and the opportunity for value engineering, the committee acknowledges the positive accomplishments and importance managing the bond funds with 2 bond managers. So if we added that, at the end of that, we could say, managing the bond funds with 2 bond managers that are paid for out of bond funds.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, that works.
Does that work?
Yeah, works for me.
Okay, I will make those changes.
Adam,
Yes,
I have August 8th as the repayment date also.
correct. That's what was stated in the report, when we
That was
got,
what Cheryl Knox said.
correct.
Okay.
When I got the email from the accounting department, from Brian Worsham, it stated August 22nd.
Okay, she was wrong then. Okay, gotcha.
So,
I thought you had the same notes. So
Yeah.
that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
So that also means that the interest in question is through the 22nd, which is more stringent.
Well, Mike,
Yes, indeed. 3 weeks. 2.5 weeks.
yeah, that's, I forgot.
yeah,
My only addition.
Good one. It's a good one.
John Hook speaking. Is there anything in there that says what are the new projects that are going to be taken over from the ones that are on hold, such as scrapping the aquatic center or or closing Metalha Middle School. Do we have any input on that? Or is that,
I don't think the committee has any input on those types of things, but I think the report has a brief reference to the project list, doesn't it?
It does.
Correct. So going back to the August 8th, August 22nd, I will double check that just to make sure that we're all, because I'm pretty confident that Cheryl was talking about this. So,
But I do know that Ryan's calculations were based on 22nd.
yeah, so we'll double check that just to make
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, since we both wrote it down,
Yeah.
that'd be nice.
100%. So the master plan, yes. The master plan, again, that's currently up there is from February of 2022. We will be releasing a new one to the board in June. I don't know if we're gonna do it the 8th or the board has, the board has quite a few meetings coming up, so. But the plan is to do it in June. I think we talked about June 8th. And that will include, obviously, everything that's, all the projects that have shifted due to the consolidation. Does that answer your question, John?
So did you
But
hear
the
that,
pool is
John?
still a go,
That-
just so we're all.
Right, there is a new report that will come to the board in June, but in our document, the attachment at the end of B has projects that are currently pending, right? And doesn't
Yeah,
that list have,
B has everything still. It still has projects for Matilda. It still has projects for San Antonio.
He's the February 2022 update, because that's the most current.
That was the snapshot in that time. And that is technically the most current one that's been presented to the board.
But I think the important thing for us to understand is that that's a board document, basically, and we have no real input into that because we make no decisions on what projects to be done.
correct? And these are out of the, they're out of the scope of this report.
And that's also true. This report is back 2021, 2022.
Right.
It basically ended in
June
June
30th.
of 22,
Correct. June.
almost a year ago.
Right.
So most of those things have happened in this past year, and they will be reflected on new committees. The next report.
Yes.
Does that answer your question, John?
Not sure it's still there.
It may be worth noting on B to say the committee has been informed that a revised master plan is pending for June 2023. Can't hurt, if that's not. Do we need to do that? I don't know.
I don't think we do.
Okay.
That would be my view.
Yeah.
Again, this report is from a year ago. So,
Oh, you mean the audit that we are
Right.
reviewing here is for the previous year, so
correct.
The
That's
COC report, but the COC is always working basically like a year behind.
a year behind.
understood.
So it's,
That's important
That's kind of-
perspective.
yeah.
Okay,
And I think the only reason we were concerned with talking about the borrowing of bond funds, I think, is because it was such an issue for the community. I don't think we could ignore it in this report.
Yeah.
Even though it's outside of the time frame of this report, I thought it was important that we do something. So,
Well, the borrowing was actually done within the audit. It was done before,
Yeah, it
completed
was-
before June 30th.
that's,
Payment is actually
yeah,
in the
that's
new
correct.
year.
That's correct.
Yeah, there
Good point.
was,
Good point.
yeah, there were a few transactions, right? And it crossed fiscal years actually. So,
And it's not that it was illegal to do that, it was just unwise.
And it was kind of unauthorized.
It was.
It wasn't authorized, yeah.
I'm not saying it was illegal, but it was not done
It's not a
properly.
good decision.
correct.
Yeah, I found one
You found one more.
one more typo.
Do it.
Committee jurisdiction and authorized activities, number 1, have a whole bunch of spaces in front of California Constitution.
Right.
Oh, gotcha.
That's good.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Anybody else have any comments?
uh,
Go ahead, John. John, do you have something?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. My concern is that in the public's eye that we're changing what we passed as a bond and in shifting it over to this reconstitution of the district facilities, and it'll be a fait accompli by the time it gets to the point that the public has anything to say about it. It's everything sits on such a tight deadline that if we're pulling money from Matella Middle School and putting it into the Nordhoff School to make new bathrooms or whatever, I think we need to have an opinion about that. I know it's
May I
more.
add, the reason, John, the reason we don't have an opinion about that at the moment is this report covers the time period of 2021 to 2022.
All right, that answers the question.
Will be addressed
Good.
in the fall.
Well, maybe I'm asking, are we ever going to have a input about the shift in the master plan before it happens?
The thing I think the committee needs to realize is that we don't make decisions as to how the money is spent. And we really don't have an opinion on that. That's
Yeah.
for the school board to do. And if people that have, that may be a very valid concern. I don't doubt that in the least. But the place to raise it is with the school board, not with the COC committee. Our function is to make sure that whatever money is spent for capital improvements.
Yes. All right, thank you for explaining that.
Okay.
All right, done speaking.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
All good questions. There were no bad questions. Does anybody else have any other comments? Do I hear a motion to approve the report as amended tonight? Oh, wait a minute, we haven't really had it, so it would be that, I think. Is
Yeah,
it?
that's it.
So,
We've done that.
do I hear a motion?
I'll move to approve the report as amended on its face.
A second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I hear none, then the report is approved. I congratulate the committee and the staff for a job well done, especially the staff.
Thank you.
Um,
We plan to put it on the the June 8th agenda for the board to approve. Is somebody from the COC going to be there to present this? In the past, the chair has gone, but
I would be happy.
it can be anybody.
I know. We'll have a board member there.
Yeah, we do have it in now, so.
No, I think it'd be very appropriate if you could be there.
I will plan on being there.
We'll obviously both be there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll plan on being there. I'll be happy to do that.
Future business
Yeah.
items,
Let me go back to the agenda.
are we there yet?
I think so.
We are.
Future agenda items is the next item. Does anybody have any future agenda item?
Well, I have two things. One is that Bill, myself, and I think John and
And
Jen,
And Jen?
we all term out.
Correct,
So this is our last meeting.
correct.
And this will be my last meeting because I also will be resigning. I cannot be on the COC committee for a second term as a board member. So there you go.
I want to thank you for your service and your help to me. You've been very instrumental in keeping us on the straight and narrow the last few years.
You're welcome.
You have a clone?
Yeah, but
If I'm listening correctly, I'm scheduled to leave them because I've been 2 years, so I'm scheduled to leave and have enjoyed the experience. And thank you for including me.
Yeah, thank you all of you that have.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
John, Bill, Jen, Kathy, thank you for your time and dedication to the schools for paper
Been a pleasure. Been a pleasure working
Super.
Donna,
with you and Alan.
PJ, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. So he's gonna be secretary, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
chairperson.
So we'll be
We're gonna find some
advertising.
more people.
We have to find, so how does that work?
So we'll get with Marissa, make sure we're advertising it everywhere. Local publications, website, Facebook, all of the above, as well as just word of mouth.
Right.
Word of mouth has been probably the best recruitment thus far. So
Yeah, it was recruited that way.
there are,
It's hard to say no to your friends.
Yeah, I know, when that's your friend. it
And
gets
stay
you.
friends.
yeah, we're supposed to have 7 members. There's 5 particular categories that we have to tick. But that'll all be posted. That is currently posted on the website, but we'll post that again when we do the.
Okay, so, questions, on the record, we need to know, senior citizens organizations, are we talking about Help of Ojai or what other, ARP? What kind of senior citizen?
There is a senior men's club
Oh, yeah,
in town.
what, the retired men?
Retired Men's Club.
Right.
Okay, all right. And then vote by taxpayers, that's how you came.
Yes, I've hate to be part of that.
That's the toughie one.
It-
That's the toughest one
right.
usually.
It's really hard to get somebody on that.
Yeah, okay.
Is it a difficult process to
Not-
become a member?
No.
Okay.
And then 2 other members selected from the public at large, so that's probably gonna be the easiest. So, PJ, it says that he is either a parent or guardian of the children, a child enrolled in the district, or a PTA, so he could go either way on that. And then I'm the one from the business organization, I'm on the board of the Chamber of Commerce, so those 2 are already filled. So if
Yes.
you guys know anybody, let them know. So,
Question on who can nominate? Does it have to be from the retired men's club or it can be a retired person?
has to be an organization, it has to be 1 member active in a senior citizens organization.
Okay. Could that be a senior citizen in a church that's associated with a church? I'm trying to think of available. The retired men's club has just regrouping after the disaster of COVID-19. So we only have maybe 16 people to choose from. So is there any way of expanding the senior eligibility to include somebody who's in a senior church group?
I think this
Or
is
does it
something,
have to be a civic group?
the staff will be working on. So we don't have to do that. However, if we know anyone interested, we had so many great candidates for the recent board nominations. Perhaps some of those folks will want to be involved.
And we can look into exactly, senior citizen organizations, how broad we can make it as well.
I didn't hear that.
We can look
I
at,
didn't hear that last comment.
we'll look into how broad the senior citizens organizations can be and give that to everybody as well.
So when should we expect the next meeting to talk about the that have applied, or how does that work?
The board appoints the people.
Okay, well, right,
So so by the next meeting, presumably you'll have 7 members that the board has appointed. And you 2 will have to be appointed also, correct?
They'll confirm you.
They'll confirm, I mean, it won't be an issue,
right,
Yeah.
right,
but they have to appoint you.
right.
Uh,
I'm trying to remember how I just submitted, you told me, and yep, you sent me the thing and I
Typically,
filled it
Right,
out.
that's
Typically, it's how
typically
it
how
works.
it's done.
I mean,
Okay.
we've got 7. Let's do it.
Yay.
And I think the way it will work is, Adam, let me know if I'm wrong. Once they have the 7, he will notify everybody and we will make an arrangement for, he'll probably suggest a meeting date.
Great, perfect.
So that's how it
That's
works.
usually in the fall.
That's correct. And it'll be in the fall.
So nothing, we won't be meeting until the fall.
That's correct.
Okay.
Typically, and then
Unless
the hope is that we
something
can meet a little more regular. I know the
Yes.
first few years, we would meet 2 or 3 times in the fall, and then again 2 or 3 times in the spring, winter and spring, and that way we were ready to go.
Okay.
There should be a lot to see in the fall. You know,
Yeah, great.
I think having the first meeting as a meeting where you can go around and look what's going on.
Yeah.
Is very
That's my
helpful.
first meeting.
That's been great.
That's been great.
And you'll be welcome to the meetings emeritus.
Yeah.
Emeritus.
I'll bring you by me.
Okay, great. That answers all my questions. So you guys
Okay.
basically do the head hunting and then we,
We don't have to take any action on appointment of officers or anything like that. That would be at
That'll
the
be done
next.
at that meeting.
First meeting, yes.
Yeah, I got roped into this.
Yeah, you did.
I opened my mouth once.
yeah, I remember. That's how you got that.
You did a great job.
Yes, you did.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did. Anybody else have any future agenda items to discuss? Hearing none, I adjourn the meeting.
Great.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, John. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much. all.
Enjoyed your company.
Thank
Glad I
you.
figured it out.
John, great seeing you. Take care.
All right, bye.
All right.
Okay.
Until September,
Yeah.
November.
Yeah, tell me.
Sorry, I won't be with you.
Figure out if there's any budget,
Yeah,
you know.
I will. Same thing that was done to me.
Yeah.